Welcome. My name is Chris Griffiths and we're here for this section to talk about viewing search results. So let's go to the MLS. I have created a search which I've saved for Pasadena condos. And notice that because of the defaults we set up in our options, we are viewing this as a one-line grid. And before we do anything else, I just want to show you a couple of things here. Notice that some of these properties have a green N and some of them have a red B. And this is designed to visually show you that these properties are either new, that's the green N, or back on the market. In other words, they've fallen out of escrow, they've come back on the market. That symbol will stay there for 7 days. So when you look at a list of properties, you can very quickly and easily see the properties that are new, either new or back on the market new. Now if you come up here to the right, you'll see that we are looking at this in the one-line grid. And the one-line grid is something that I personally really enjoy, but if you're a visual person, this might just give you a headache. You do have the option of changing it. If you go to the drop-down menu here, you will see that there are many different choices. I'm going to take you down to the gallery view, which is about as different as it's possible to get. Now when we look at this, believe it or not, we are looking at the exact same properties, but obviously it looks entirely different. Now remember how I told you that any time you have a number that is underlined in blue, it's a hyperlink. So this little icon here that shows a camera with the number 14 next to it, it means there are 14 pictures for this property, and if we click on the 14, it's going to quickly show us a slideshow which we can go through. So if you're a visual person, you might find this a whole lot more enjoyable way of looking at properties. We're going to go back to the one-line grid because that's what we're here to talk about. Now we've run a list of condos. There are a couple of things here. In a minute we're going to sort these. That's actually the next section. But when we sort them, we're going to want the address over here because we're going to be using these numbers and check marks on the left. So it would be nice if we could move the address over. Notice that the city and the area are virtually identical. In fact, the area is a little more useful because it splits Pasadena into 4 different sections. And also, we're looking at condos, so wouldn't it be kind of nice if we had HOA dues, perhaps the number of units in the development? Well, all of these things we can fix, and we do that by coming up here to Admin, One-Line Grid Setup. And when we come here, we'll notice that first of all, along the top, there are a bunch of different tabs. So if you specialize in residential income, you can set up your own one-line grid just for residential income. But we're here to do residential. Over on the right, notice that we're looking top to bottom, and this equates to left to right in the screen. So the closer to the top of the list something is, the further left it will be on the final screen. So let's come down. We want to move the street address. Now we click on the name. Don't come over here to the left. Just click anywhere on the name. You'll see it turns left. And we can come to the middle here and move the move up to move it to the top of the list. We had decided that the city was kind of redundant, so we're going to hit remove. Be very careful not to hit remove all. We're just going to hit remove for the city. Notice at the top right here, you have the ability to fix up to 4 of the columns, and we're going to fix the first one. I'll show you what that does in just a second. Now over here on the left we have a bunch of different fields that we can add. So the first one we're going to use is the number of units in development, and it wants us to tell it where to put it in the system. So let's put it after the price. So basically you can put any number between 40 and 50. I'm going to put in 45. We click add, and notice that that has now come over to the right. So this list on the left is in alphabetical order. We're going to drag it down to Association Dues 1. We're going to click add. Again, it adds it over here. And we're going to come up to the top left and we're going to click save. Now whilst we do that, notice that immediately to the right of save you have restore defaults. In other words, if you ever want to go back to square one, you can do it with one click of the mouse. Just come up here and click restore defaults. So we've saved our settings. We're going to go quickly to searches, saved searches. We're going to go to the search we created. And now when we look at it, you will see that the address is here on the left. And over here we have the association dues, and we have the number of units in development. The city has disappeared, and we have this here. Now remember, we fixed the address, so you'll notice this grey bar at the bottom starts after the address, and when we drag it across, the address stays still and the other fields move. So it allows you to look through the other fields without moving the address. And that is the end of this class, because in the next one we're going to learn how to sort our properties. Thank you.